Block just laid off almost half its workforce and, of course, blamed AI. They're full of crap. Let's talk about it. So welcome to Dave is Not AI. I'm Dave Linthicum, an AI SME and an AI skeptic, looking at AI with a balanced perspective. Let's get started. So this, according to CNN, and I'll go ahead and put the article in the description as well as up on the screen right now. Block, the company behind Square, Cash App, and Afterpay, is cutting its staff by 40%. The reason? Intelligence tools, aka AI, according to a letter to shareholders by co-founder Jack Dorsey. And every time I look at a picture of Jack Dorsey, he kind of looks more like Rasputin, but I digress. So the reason I'm covering this is you guys sent me a bunch of emails asking me to. In other words, what was my opinion on this? And so rather than just responding to all of the emails or putting out a post on LinkedIn, I figured I'd work up a video. So the Block layoff story is being packaged as AI efficiency, but that framing conveniently turns a management capacity mistake into an inevitability of technology. This is the same old story we saw with a bunch of companies in the last year or two. In other words, they're laying people off and they're talking about AI efficiencies as the reason they're doing so, because that gives them a free pass. In other words, they're not laying people off because they made a mistake in the past. In other words, overhiring, which is the case here. But they're saying, well, this new technology came along. We didn't see it coming. And suddenly we have these efficiencies. We have a fiduciary responsibility to operate this company as efficient as possible, to live up to our shareholder equity. And that's why companies exist. So they lay people off. But the reality behind this is that they overhired in the past, probably overhired during COVID. And I think they so much admitted that. And this was a convenient way to normalize their existing workforce because they didn't need them anymore.